Hi there, welcome to Bitesize Piano. So in this tutorial I'm going to go over what extensions are. And it's going to be more of a jazz tutorial because jazz chords often use these upper extensions. And it gives a really rich, luscious, sophisticated sounding harmony. So in the preview you just heard a chord progression, and every single one of those chords had upper extensions in some form. So we'll explain what they are. So if we take the chord then of C major, so C, E, G. So this is just a basic triad chord. You can see, if I use my other hand, you can see that they're stacked in thirds. So the C and the E are a third apart, the E and the G are a third apart. So if we keep going up in thirds, using just the scale of C major, so this now is C major 7, because we've added the 7th note of the scale on there. The D is going to be the 9th, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Adding the F is the 11th, because it's the 11th note in the sequence. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then finally 13th in there. So you can see, if I move my other fingers out of the way, we have a stack. Obviously you don't play chords like this, I'm just showing you to make it obvious which notes I am playing. And that sounds mental. And it looks quite crazy on the sheet music as well. So all the notes are in the space, or line, 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 line. So that is a C major 13th chord. So because we use the 7th, the major 7th, it would be called C major 11. If we use the dominant 7 is the major 7 taken from the major scale, so of C major, but you flatten it. It's called the dominant 7th because C is the dominant chord, so dominant means 5. So C is the 5th note of the scale of F major. And in the scale of F major, there is a B flat. So a C dominant chord, so C is the 5th chord of F major, the B needs to be a B flat because that B flat exists in the scale of F major. So that's why that's called dominant. So now I've explained the theory, I'm sure you'll agree it's pretty simple. You're just stacking in thirds and it has a very distinct pattern. So jazz chords use extensions all over the place. So when you see extension chord written down or notated, it's not always going to be, for example, a C major 11 is not always going to be played like this. It's down to you to play around with what we call voicings and which notes you want to stick out as being the top and how you want it to sound. So what I would say, when you're dealing with more notes, try not to repeat the notes, maybe unless you're playing like octaves to get more bass or something. So if you play, for example, C, E, B in the left hand, the right hand we could play D, G and F. So you're not repeating the same notes. You don't have to do this, but this is sort of a rule that I go by. So it doesn't sound too heavy. So the chord progression then that I just made up at the beginning, I'm going to break that down and teach it to you. The first thing I did, the first chord I actually came up with was D minor 11. So you'll probably notice, and I am playing this just all in stacked root position. You'll notice that it's effectively what you call like a polychord. So I'm playing D minor in the left hand, but a C major in the right hand. So this makes D minor, because that's D minor 7, 9, 11. So this makes D minor 11. That's quite a straightforward one to explain because it's very much laid out in order. But what I did first is I did like a parallel chromatic shift. So if we move all of those notes up by a semitone, we get E flat minor 11. So I've moved it up by a semitone. The second chord I played was a B flat 11. So I just played fifths in the left hand, so B flat and F. And then I played A flat, C and E flat, so effectively an A flat major chord in my right hand. So this is not a major 11, this is like it has the dominant 7th in there. So that would be the major, B flat major 7, this is B flat dominant 7. And then that is the 9th and the 11th we're adding in there. And then I played F major 9, so I'm playing a 7th in my left hand, so F and the major 7, F and E. And in my right hand I'm playing A, C and G. F major 7, 9 is... So I'm, as I said before, the notes that I'm not playing in my left hand, I'm playing in my right hand, and vice versa. So, like that. So far I did, so the chromatic shift, if you like. And then I did like a little... So I did, this is like based around a C major 9. I'm just breaking up the chord just to give some sort of, you know, melody aspect to it. And then like a little lead up. So this chord here is an A flat major with a sharpened 11th. I'll explain that. So I'm just playing A flat and E flat, again just fifths in my left hand. This is the major 7th of A flat. This is the 9th. And this is the 11th, but in the scale of A flat major, the D is actually a D flat. So if we sharpen it, for me that sounds a lot nicer. And then I played a G flat major 13th. So this is the only 13th chord in here, but it doesn't use every single stacked note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It doesn't have 7 notes in it. So we have G flat and D flat in the left hand, just playing in fifths again. And in the right hand we have F, which is the major 7th, B flat, which is the major 3rd, and then an E flat, which is the 13th. So we don't have the 11th or the 9th in there, so you don't have to include every single of the 7 stacked third notes. We've got the important root note, we've got the major or minor 3rd, we've got the 7th to major, and then the 13th. E flat major 9. So I'm playing major 7th in my left hand, so E flat and D. And then I'm playing the major G, which is the major 3rd. B flat, which is the 5th. And then F, which is the 9th. So E flat major, the D is a D natural. So it's not the dominant 5th, so it's E flat major 9, not just E flat 9, because again, the 7th is from the major scale of E flat major. So this does require you to know a bit about scales and key signatures. So if you're a complete beginner to piano, jazz is probably not the best place to start, just because your theory of knowledge and chords and how to build chords, you need to have a pretty good foundation of that first. If you are a beginner and you'd like to explore jazz, I've done a few jazz tutorials that I've linked below. Go and check that out. So we have all together. And you can play it in terms of rhythm, obviously play it how you like. I'm playing a lot of offbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's the end of this video. If you would like to leave a request, leave them in the comments section below of this video. I've also left some videos here that I think you might like, so go and check those out as well. I also have a course. Visit bitesizepianocourse.co.uk and you can enroll and start learning how to read music. I'll see you in the next video.